Hello and welcome to the Trust Factor Podcast, the only podcast that guarantees your success when you implement its divine age-old teachings. We have a new winner, my friends, of the free book giveaway, the Emunah book by Rav David Saperman, an amazing manual, a life manual on how to get ahead. And that winner for last week was drawn yesterday. It is none other than Shimon Blumenthal, a friend who is very, very supportive of the podcast. I appreciate you, Shimon. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing and reacting. There are going to be 8 more giveaways every week, guys. All you need to do is like, share, comment on a post on an episode, and you will be entered in for the next draw, which will happen this coming Sunday for another book giveaway on Monday. It's not just any book, guys. This is a game changer. It really is. I've referenced it many, many times. Shimon, thank you again. Yesterday, I told you that if you wanted to become wealthy, then all you need to do is give away your wealth. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? You want to become wealthy? I got a great idea. Give away your wealth. If you said this to any normal, rational thinking human being, they would tell you that you've lost your mind, or maybe you don't speak the language that they speak, because they're telling you they want to make money, and you're saying, yeah, I hear you want to make money. All you need to do is give away your money so that you can make more. It flies in the face of logic and reason. Why is that? Why does it say asor ta'aser, which means you should give away your tithe? You should take your 10% and give it away. And then we said if you take the little microscopic dot that sits on top of the sheen in the word asor and move it over from the left to the right, it becomes asor ta'aser. You'll suddenly become rich. You give away your tithe, you become rich. What's the connection? You've also heard me say in previous podcasts that if you put $1 into a charity box, and every time you did that and went to leave your house, you found $100 sitting by your doorstep, but every time you didn't put $1 in the charity box, you noticed that $100 wasn't there, it wouldn't take very long for you and for everybody else who did this to realize a straight line connection. I put money in the box, I get money back. If I put $2 in, I get $200. We'd all sit by this charity box all day long, just giving our money away, because we would see the net effect of it. And obviously, it doesn't work that way. But at the same time, our Creator says, test me. Test me in this department. This is the only real department where He's willing to be challenged by us. I said yesterday, I gave you the example. If we're going to go up to somebody of import and expect from them that they're going to step up and prove to us why they're so important or why they're so capable, they don't need to do that. God doesn't need to do that. But here He says, test me. I want you to. And you will see with your own eyes exactly what I'm referring to over here. Now, does that mean, I ask you, if I put $1 in a charity box, immediately I'm going to see that return? The answer is obviously no. That's not the way it works. He's still testing you. Everything in this life is a test. It's not easy to do the thing I just explained. It's not easy to give away that hard-earned money. So therefore, it's a test for you. But in that test, you're allowed to test Hashem. So you're allowed to say, God, I'm testing you. I'm giving away my 10%. I've done the math. Here's the money. Now I'm going to find a source that you would want me to give this to, and I'm going to make sure it goes to the right place. And you do that. Don't expect a windfall. It's happened before, and it can happen, and it will happen. But if this is the first time you're doing it, my friends, as with most mitzvahs, when you want to step up your game and do something that you should have done a long time ago, then God comes to test you on that. And the way He does it is He sends His messenger called the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination. He sends him out. He says, I've got a mission for you. You see this guy? He's trying to step up his game. I want to know why he's doing it. I want to know how committed he is. I want to know what's in his heart when he does this. Go test him. And the Yetzer Hara, that evil inclination, has been around for a very, very long time and has seen many like us over the generations. He knows exactly how to test us the best way possible. And what will he do? He will make sure when you start giving your tithes, when you start giving your maaser, suddenly you will have more financial hardships than you've ever had before. Suddenly you'll get a bill that you never expected before that's going to set you back. When you've set aside that amount of money and you're about to give it away, suddenly another person comes knocking on your door. Another collector comes knocking on your door. You have a breakdown of equipment, a breakdown of a car. You have a sudden expense that wasn't anticipated, and suddenly you're thinking, uh-oh, I was going to give this away. and now I have to make a real choice. Suddenly that game just got so much harder. Why? Because you're also being tested. Are you doing it because Hashem told you to do it? Do you have faith in your Creator? Or are you doing it for alternative purposes? And if you're given the slightest amount of pushback, are you going to fail at your test? It's also a test. But if you do succeed, and you give that money away and you do with it what you're supposed to do, there is no such thing as losing. Your reward, your repayment will come around and you will have eyes to see it eventually, but it's not going to be out of the gate. And I've shared many stories in my past, and I can continue to share them, about situations where later on, when you continue to give and do the right things, you can and do oftentimes see an immediate response, an immediate one. My wife has called me multiple times on multiple occasions and said, "You won't believe what happened. I just gave X amount of money and within seconds I got a phone call from a new client." I've done it myself. I gave a donation and suddenly I get something happen that was beneficial to either me or one of my family members. It happens where literally within seconds of you doing what you're supposed to do, you see the reward. But that's not how it always happens. Usually it comes with a very, very big challenge. And why? What's the connection? Why do I have to give away in order to receive, aside from the fact that it's a test? Because that, my friends, is measure for measure. That is how God runs this world. That is a steadfast rule in creation. Measure for measure, midah keneged midah, which means God runs this world based on that principle, which means you may have heard it before as what goes around comes around, right? That is the common way that you may have heard it as measure for measure. What you do to others, others will do back to you. What you do, good or bad, to others will eventually come back to you. So if you're financing other people, finances won't be a problem for you. If you're feeding other people, food will always be plentiful for you and your family. That is the way that He created this world. So if you're taking of your hard-earned money to give away to help other people to do His work, then He does your work and He makes sure that you don't lose. Money comes right back into your account. My friends, the only way for you to figure this out is to do it. And the beautiful part is that He says, test me on it. I want you to test me. He doesn't say that anywhere else. And the idea is that if in this area, which is so dear to us, which is our wealth, which is what pays the bills, which keeps the lights on and puts food on the table, if we're willing to give it away because we trust in Hashem and we recognize that there is more to life than filling our bellies alone, then Hashem says, this guy is doing what he's supposed to do. They've stepped up to the plate, and now it's time for me to respond. Remember, we've said, open me a pinhole, and I will open up for you a hole the size of an auditorium. This is it. Asor te'aser. Give that tithe away, and you will become wealthy. I see people doing it every single day, and I can draw a direct line for them, a strict, direct, positive correlation that shows the more they give and the more happy they are about giving, the more they receive and the more plentiful their life becomes. It is a direct correlation. There are other ways to as well become wealthy and to manage your money and to receive more from your Creator. There are many other ways, but this is a mitzvah. This is a commandment. This is not something that is optional. Oftentimes we may find ourselves fudging the numbers a little bit, trying to convince ourselves that we can incorporate this expense or that expense in order to fudge the numbers to feel a little bit better about the fact that we aren't giving as much. It's the opposite approach that we need to have here. The more I give away, the more I will get back. And that's why, by the way, God puts a limit on your maaser. It's a maximum of 20%. You're not allowed to give more than that. 10 is your minimum, 20 is your maximum. As with anything in life, there are always certain exceptions to every rule, but that's the general rule. Why? Because everybody who's done it knows that the more I give away, the more I'm getting back. It's an easy equation. Easy in theory, very difficult in practice. God willing, we'll all get there one day. Thank you for spending time with us on the Trust Factor podcast. If you heard something today that moved you, save this episode and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming conversations that challenge, empower, and uplift. And if you're on social media, connect with us. Leave your thoughts. Drop a quote that resonated with you. Hashtag the Trust Factor Podcast. Until next time, keep growing in your trust. keep living with purpose. I'm Jesse Revivo, and this has been the Trust Factor Podcast. Thanks for listening.